my name is Paula from Cheshire Libraries, and I would like to tell you about a book I love. My book is The Foundling, written by Stacey Halls and published by Manila Press. This is a historically based story of two women whose lives become entwined by their involvement of a child who had been placed in a foundling at a very young age. The women's lives could not be more different. For example, one is poor and the other wealthy. Through their involvement with the child, however, their paths cross, and it is their differences which highlight several themes running through the story, such as class, equality, power, privilege, families, secrets, and the meaning of motherhood. Despite being based in the mid-1700s, the themes explored in the story are ones which are similarly current in our modern-day lives. An example of this is, would it be better to be poor but free and happy, or rich but weighed down by the trappings of wealth? Until a couple of years ago, I would never have chosen a historically based novel. At school, I found history, or at least the way it was taught, very uninteresting. All I can recall of my lessons was reciting the names of kings and queens and trying to memorise, usually unsuccessfully, a list of dates and events. However, historically based fiction books such as this one provide a great insight into the period of when it was written. Stacey Hall manages to transport the reader into the Georgian era in which it was written, by focusing more on the social history of the time. She vividly described people's lives through the sounds, smells, conversation, the way they dressed, what they ate, where they lived, and so on. This, to me, is a much more memorable and interesting way to learn about history than trying to memorise a list of dates and names. The book has been thoroughly researched, and this is evident in Stacey Hall's writing. As a result of reading this book, it piqued my interest to carry out a little research on the history of the Foundling Hospital. The Foundling Hospital was established at a time when London was thriving as a result of the Industrial Revolution. However, this rapid growth resulted in extreme poverty and disease and soaring infant mortality rates for many of the poorer classes. Unable to care for their newborn children, particularly if they were illegitimate, many were abandoned and left to die. The alternative was to leave them at the foundling to be cared for and reclaim them one day when the parent could afford to look after them. This book is well written and a fascinating account of a part of British history I knew nothing about previously. It is a very easy book to read, the characters well developed and credible. I would recommend this book to anyone who enjoys reading or learning about social history, or to anyone who, like me, has shied away from historical novels in the past due to having fallen asleep during their school history lessons. Thank you very much for listening. Look out for more books we love coming from Cheshire Libraries soon. Bye-bye.